Welcome to the TheDPost Sports Chat. I'm Drew Rubenstein here with Ed Owens, and Ed, the Mountaineers have lost 3 straight games going into Saturday's game at TCU, and the message that's being spoken is start with a clean slate, and it seems like it makes sense and it sounds good, but is it doable at this point?
Yeah, it's going to take a lot. The last few weeks have been particularly hard on this team. The way they've lost is especially heartbreaking, holding leads late into the second half and kind of blowing them both, watching them slip away, which I think is exactly why they have to do that whole clean slate mentality. I mean, they can't let this continue to snowball. They can't let this get out of hand. It's easier said than done, but it's definitely what they're out to do.
Especially with the defensive side, Keith Patterson wiped off the board that we had been seeing in Tuesday interviews, where you'd have the number of sacks and successful plays, third down percentage, and all that stuff. But his unit in particular here, after starting the season so well, they've had 3 straight games where things have just snowballed out of control. Talking to him and some of the players earlier this week, did you get a sense that they're figuring out what the issues are and figuring out answers here?
No, I think one of the most disturbing things from the defensive side of things is that they don't have the answers. When Patterson was talking on Tuesday night, he was saying that there were 7 plays, all third downs in the second half against Kansas State that really led to that loss. Kansas State really just executed well. WVU didn't. When asked what the difference was, Patterson said nothing. He said he couldn't see a difference between what WVU was doing in the first and second half and what Kansas State was doing. He said no one made adjustments, no one took advantage of any mistakes. Well, obviously they took advantage of mistakes. No one changed anything enough in game plan wise to account for what they saw. They were really left scratching their heads trying to figure out what exactly went wrong, and as of this week, they still hadn't figured that out.
On the other side, you wondered if WVU had figured out the quarterback situation. Clint Trickett had started 4 straight games, but then Dana Holgorsen elected to throw Paul Millard in midway through the fourth quarter when the team's down 16 points. Paul moved the unit down on one of those possessions, but obviously didn't get any points. Then they weren't able to make a game of it. It sounds like they're planning on going back with Trickett at TCU. Is that the right call in your mind?
If it's what they think is the best call, I think it is. Only because you're down 1 quarterback, Ford Childress can't play, and it comes down to Millard and Trickett. And obviously they've seen something or haven't seen something out of Millard to make them confident putting him in as a starter, which I think makes you kind of question what they did in the fourth quarter of last week's game, because it really put him in an unfair situation. Trickett and the offense hadn't been able to move the ball for 3 quarters, obviously struggling. They only had 12 points. And then to throw in a cold quarterback like Paul, not really giving him a chance, but giving him a mandate of saying, go out there, we're down more than 2 scores at this point, we need you to go out and get us points. It was just a high-pressure situation, no preparation really for it. I mean, I know that's life of a backup quarterback. You never really know when your number's going to be called, but they kind of set him up to fail there, which I think, based on that, they said it wasn't a winning performance, but I don't really know he was in position for a winning performance. So if they feel that Clint is the best option right now, there's got to be a reason for it, but I think he's shown a lot of things that make you question what he can do as well. They're saying the communication is down, but one of the big things Dana said was they still can't audible. They can't change plays at the line of scrimmage, which I think at this point in the season is a major red flag for this team.
Absolutely. And communication-wise, TCU has struggled like West Virginia, but defensively, this is still a Horned Frogs team that statistically looks like they're as good as they have been in past years. What sorts of challenges do they present to Trickett and this offense?
Up front, I mean, you're going to see it up front. TCU leads the conference in sacks, and they've put pressure on everybody. One of the things Dana was talking about Tuesday was that he sensed at times that Clint didn't trust WVU's offensive line, that maybe he got quick feet, he got nervous, a little jittery, threw the ball too early, didn't make all his reads, things like that. TCU's not going to give WVU any more time to settle back there, get comfortable. I think that's something you really have to watch out for. The offensive line has been playing better. They've gotten better every week. Ron Crook, offensive line coach Ron Crook, said that Quentin Spain played his best game last week. They've said Pat Egger's getting better. So I think they're seeing signs of improvement, but that offensive line's really going to be tested this week against TCU.
Last one, dealing with Clint Trickett. There are flaws that you had mentioned that Dana said that he cannot audible out of place, stuff that sounds like it cannot be fixed in the middle of the season. Can they figure out a way to just maneuver and make do and be successful despite that?
Be successful? I don't know. I mean, it's obviously what they're going to try to do. They've committed to going forward with Clint. Dana said he's resigned himself to the fact that Clint will not be able to change plays at the line of scrimmage. It's something Geno Smith didn't have a problem with. It's something we haven't seen Millard have a problem with, and they never mentioned Ford having a problem with it either. So it's pretty much exclusive to Clint, and he's the one that they're proceeding with. So I mean, they obviously like him. They obviously think they can overcome it, and that he gives them the best chance to win. With 4 games left, they have to win at least 3 of them to get that bowl bid. And if they think Clint's the one who can do it, they're rolling him out there.
Sure, they're running out of time. Ed, appreciate your time. Please continue to check TheDPost.com for the latest on the Mountaineers. Thanks for tuning in today.